All right, good evening again. Koans. This is one of the great Chinese koan collections. This has 48 koans in it. And the commentary I am reading from and I like is by Zenke Shibayama, who was a Japanese Rinzai Zen master. The koan I will be reading tonight, I'll do what I usually do, which is I'll read the koan, pause while we all collect our confused thoughts, and then I'll read it a second time, adding some editorial commentary, and then I will stop recording and we will just discuss this among ourselves. The koan tonight is Tozan's 3 pounds of flax, which is very, as they go, it's a very simple and direct koan. So here we go. There's a koan, commentary, and a poem. First of all, the koan itself. A monk asked Master Tozan, "What is Buddha?" Tozan said, 3 pounds of flax. That's it. The commentary. Old Tozan studied a bit of clam Zen, and opening the shell a little revealed his liver and intestines. Though it may be so, tell me, where do you see Tozan? And the poem? Thrust forth is 3 pounds of flax. Words are intimate, even more so the mind. He who talks about right and wrong is a man of right and wrong. So there we go. Preposterously short and simple. But in its simplicity, it's not really simple. It's doing what all of these koans do. It is a tool, it is a practice, it is a way of opening up and becoming truth itself, awakening itself. And the idea is, in this tradition, one holds the koan and becomes the koan and just kind of takes over, and that's all there is. Like in much Buddhist meditation practice, we just follow the breath. With the koan practice, we just take on that koan, and that becomes everything. That's where our mind is completely. And there's a point of entry with each of these koans. It's not so obvious in this one, but the point of entry is the place which doesn't make sense, where there's an inconsistency, where there's a discontinuity, where there's a place to just get stuck. And that's the place to practice, that's the place to hold, to rest, and to just let yourself get stuck and let the wheels of logic just seize. And in that locking of logic, there's an opportunity for this moment of insight. Satori, or Kensho, as it's called in Japanese. So here we go again. A monk asked Master Tozan, who is here presumably the abbot, certainly the senior person, "What is Buddha?" What is Buddha? When we think of Buddha, generally we think of this individual, Siddhartha Gautama, who sat under the Bodhi tree, practiced before then, and he sat under the Bodhi tree, and then he woke up to truth. And when he woke up to truth, he ceased to be Siddhartha Gautama, and he became Buddha, Tathagata, thus come, thus gone. No longer just this ordinary human being, but a manifestation of enlightened awareness. And that, when we follow Buddhism across through China and into Japan, that is the meaning of Buddha. Buddha is no longer just this guy who woke up in India. Buddha is your awakening. Your awakening. Buddha is that awakening experience itself. And this is there in the Pali Canon. Buddha talks of himself as Tathagata. He does not talk of himself as a person. Tathagata is thus come, thus gone. It's a self-referential way of describing, of pointing at that which is no longer really here. It's awakening experience itself. And it's there, for example, in the Lotus Sutra. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, Namu Myoho. That's the title of the Lotus Sutra. So it's Buddha itself is in that title. The whole teaching is in the title. And in the Lotus Sutra and in the Diamond Sutra, there's stupas thrown up all over the place. The teaching, the sutra itself becomes the physical manifestation, if you will, of the Buddha, and the essence of the sutra is the same and is indistinguishable from that of the Buddha, the awakened nature. So in all these places we're referring to Buddha nature. We're not referring to this, not to Buddha nature, to the awakening experience, not really referring to this person. So we're not getting caught on an idea or a thing. It's truth here. In medieval Japan, it's attributed to Dogen, but I think it was a much broader thing than Dogen. It was across all the Buddhist traditions in the 13th century, late 12th and 13th century. You are already Buddha, you just don't know it. You're already awake, you just don't know it. Well, that and a quarter will get you a cup of coffee, because that's the point is the knowing. It is about the knowing. Awakening is simply the knowing. What is that knowing? We can't hold it, we can't describe it. What is that knowing? That is what this monk, this desperate young monk, this person who's devoting their life to waking up, that's what they're asking. What is this? How do I do it? What does it feel like? What do I experience? What am I? How do I know this awakening? And Tozan says, 3 pounds of flax. Now there's a way of analysing koans which is very logical. Well, he must have been, at the time he was measuring out the flax, and that's just what he was doing, so it means the 3 pounds. Well, 3 is the Trikaya, the Dharmakaya, the Sambhogakaya, the Nirmanakaya, and flax is a metaphor for it's a body, you can do all that, but that's missing the point of what's going on here. Yes, there was something like that going on. Yes, Tozan was in the middle of an activity, and 3 pounds of flax was probably directly related in some way to the activity he was engaged in. But it is not that explanatory approach that gets it there. It's simply experience itself. It's simply awareness itself. And we can't get there by describing it as awareness itself either. We have to start somewhere. We have to point at it. But that's not what it is. This is not a philosophical description. Well, Buddha nature is everywhere. It's the universal and it's the relative. It's in the air we breathe, and it's in this book I'm reading. That's not going to get us there. It's knowing it in your bones, experiencing it and waking up. 3 pounds of flax. So the commentary. Old Tozan studied a bit of clam zen, and opening the shell a little revealed his liver and intestines. Well, a clam, like all bicuspids, you open the shell and that's it. That's like the whole skin, bones, that's everything. That's all the protective stuff. You open that up and you can see the heart, the soul, the liver. You see the whole thing. It is the most vulnerable and intimate of creatures in that you open the shell just a little and you can see everything. It is fully exposed. That's what this clam zen is. And with this simple answer, 3 pounds of zen, Mumonkan, who is writing this commentary, says He studied a bit of clamshell, and that's what he was doing here. He was becoming totally vulnerable. He gave it all away just with this one simple statement, 3 pounds of flax. He held nothing back. So that 3 pounds of flax, if you just take those words at face value, it's not obvious, but that needs to be taken in that sense. That the monk asked this question of Tozan, and Tozan, without thinking, without pausing, without any defenses coming up, he just spilled his guts. He gave everything. He gave just the most fulsome answer of this itself is just what you're looking for. It's right here. Though it may be so, tell me, where do you see, or hear, or smell, or taste Tozan? Think there of Tathagata again. Thus come, thus gone, the awakening experience. There is no Tozan. Yes, there's a point of reference that is a locus that we engage with, but if we look closely at it, there is no Tozan there. Tozan is just the arising of causes and conditions, and even that's saying too much. Where is Tozan? It's the same as where is the 3 pound of flax, actually. Because Tozan embodies the awareness we're talking about here. Mumonkan's poem. Thrust forth is 3 pounds of flax. Thrust forth, he's put it right out there. Think of yourself in a situation where something really exciting has happened. You may be like a 5-year-old kid. Cast your mind back. And you've seen the most amazing thing. And you run home to your caregivers, to your parents, or to your siblings, or to whoever's looking after you, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents. And you want to explain to them what this is. And you don't have words for it, because words can't get there. And there's just this explosive need to explain. This is the thrusting forth that Tozan was offering when he said 3 pounds of flax. How do you say that? Like the clam, he opened his shell and he threw it all out there. 3 pounds of flax. It's the whole universe. Oh my goodness. Do you not have eyes to see? Do you not have ears to hear? Pay attention. Right now. Words are intimate. Words are exquisite and intimate. We pick this up in poetry. They manage to take us away. They manage to transcend and connect in the most beautiful and exquisite of ways. Words are so intimate. They're capable of offering so much. Even more so the mind. Even the best of words have this dualistic edge to them. The mind, and it's not our rational mind, it's the mind that goes beyond. It takes us to this Buddhist idea of no mind. How much more so the mind? Buddhism has this, Zen Buddhism in particular, has this idea of mind-to-mind transmission. And it was once described to me as mind, big mind, to mind. Mind, touching table, to mind, touching forehead. How much more intimate is mind? He who talks about right and wrong, he who discriminates, he or she who discriminates, who dwells in the relative world, is a person of right and wrong. The person who hears the answer, 3 pounds of flax, and starts thinking of why 3, why not 4? Flax. Why not cotton? Why not bamboo pulp? Why not rice? What is flax? The person who's getting caught in this, the world of logic, the world of thinking, the world of passing, is a person of that world. This is an invitation to leave all of that behind, to just jump right into 3 pounds of flax, right into direct intuitive experience, right into a place of simple awareness.